This is Allyse Sedivy, and you are listening to the Find a Builder program. This is call number 6, Referrals, Referrals, Referrals. Now, Mark Zuckerberg said that nothing influences people more than a recommendation from a trusted friend. And I couldn't agree more. In fact, when Patrick and I were already presidential diamonds, meaning that we had gone through a lot of the people in our warm market. And many of you might feel like you're in the same position. You've talked to everybody, right? You don't even know who you'd reach out to now. Or maybe you feel like your list is really short because either everyone's in your business or possibly everyone has been sampled and they've said no, or they just won't get back to you. Well, we were kind of in a similar position, and we thought, how do we reach out to a lot more people and actually double our business, going from single presidential to double presidential with the same warm market? I mean, we didn't get a new job. We hadn't moved anywhere. We weren't really, influential online. So we had the same warm market, and we thought to ourselves, we've been overlooking something. There are a lot of people that we didn't write down on our original list because we just knew they would never do the business with us. And possibly they would never be interested in essential oils. For example, doctors that have gone to school for 10 years, they're probably not going to walk away from their really successful practice to do the doTERRA business with you. I mean, it has happened before, but it's probably not likely. Or people that are making really great money, or basically love what they do, and they're very, very good at what they do, and they're really happy with what they do, right? There's tons of people like that around us. And so we decided, well, why don't we write down different people on our list? And we're going to write down really influential people that won't necessarily do the business with us, and that won't even be, something that we worry about, but that they could lead us, or they know a lot of people that could possibly fit into that category of what we're looking for, those 7 characteristics. And so that's exactly what we did. We started from step 1, right? We went to our names list and we wrote out a different type of list. People that not necessarily would do the business with us, but that are very influential. And what does really influential mean, right? It doesn't mean that they're loud or outgoing or anything like that. It just means that they move people. People listen to them, they follow them, and they're usually admired by a lot of people. And so we began making a totally different list. And it was amazing how easy people came to our minds, just tons and tons of people. In fact, we got that list bigger than our original list. It ended up being 250 people long. Now, I don't want you to worry, because a lot of those people, you're never, ever going to ask them to do the business. So you can still if you know the mayor of your city really well, you can still put him down on your list, right? And you don't have to think to yourself, well, that's a long shot, because we're going to handle this differently. So Patrick and I went to work. And we developed a system of working with referrals in order to build a massive business. And we went double presidential. We doubled our business, right? With people that we didn't know, people that referred other people to us, right? Okay, so step number 1 is you're going to identify the influencers that are on your unique names list. And if you haven't put enough influencers on there, go back and think of all the different people that influence, that people listen to, whether they're at your kid's school, or whether they're at your workplace, or whether they're in your church, or in just your social settings, whether they're in your family. I mean, there's so many different types of influential people. Step number 2, for each of these influencers, you have to kind of think about them and select, well, whether you think a product approach for them or a business approach would be better. Not a product or business approach specifically for them to join the business, but are they more product-centered and product-focused, like somebody that owns a gym, or someone that's really, really into healthy food, or someone that's a massage therapist might product approach might be a better approach, right? Or a business approach, someone that owns their own business, or someone that's really business minded, or someone that is just always, in the middle of different projects with people. That might be someone that would really resonate with a business approach better. Okay, so step number 3 is simply to call each influential person on your list. Now, I want to prep this, okay? And I promise you, I have used this approach over and over and over and over again. I've used it so many times that in this call, you'll actually be able to listen to real calls that I have had with people, real legit people that are referring people to me. In fact, this worked so well, I thought to myself, I need to show this to people. And so I started recording some of the calls when I just reach out to people. And then after the call was over, I would call them back because I wanted it to be like really legitimate, like things that they would say if they didn't think anyone was listening to them, right? And then I would call them back after the first call and say, hey, is it okay if I use these calls for training purposes? And most people would say yes. So these are the calls that you're listening to. And you'll find that because I've done this so often, and unfortunately, I didn't record a lot of the calls that I did at the very beginning when I was working off a script, super tight off a script, because I stuck to the script really, really tightly. But then after a while, I've used it so often that it become very familiar and very, not so much the word casual, but it's so comfortable for me that I jump in and out of the script a little. I don't stay with the script as tight as I'm going to have you practice this script. But I thought it would still be really helpful for you to listen to how effective calls for asking for referrals can be. All right. Now, I'm just going to jump into this. The first script is a script for someone that you're deciding, okay, is influential, first of all, but you think that they will resonate with a product approach more. And it sounds something like this. Hi, Lisa. Hey, do you have a couple minutes to talk to me? Great. Hey, Lisa, you're one of the most influential people that I know, and I really value your opinion. When you're excited about something, everyone listens to you. I have fallen in love with essential oils. They've changed my life and my family's life as well. And sharing essential oils has become a very successful business for me. I would love to bring you some free product, some samples for you to try. I think that you'll fall in love with them like I have. And I know that when you really believe in something, you naturally talk to other people about it and people listen to you. I'm really hoping to spread the word about essential oils. And I'd love to drop off some free samples and get your opinion because truly, you're one of the most influential people that I know. And if you have a minute, we could talk about a few ailments or health concerns that you and your family are having. That way I could bring you the most beneficial samples for your needs. Now, let's stop there for just a minute. Why did I say what I said? Remember, at the very beginning of the call, I said, Lisa, you're one of the most influential people that I know. And truly, she is. If she's on your list of influencers, she is one of the most influential people that you know. So you're not just flattering her, you're telling the truth. And what I found that happens is people stop. And they're really touched that you would say something like that. In fact, one of the calls that you're going to be listening to is about a man. And when I said, well, you're one of the most influential people that I know, he was just stunned, right? And what happens actually is when you say you're one of the most influential people that I know, and I really want you to try this product because I know if you fall in love with it, you'll naturally share it with other people and people listen to you. They really want to help you. I have had very few people that have told me, you know what? No, I'm not interested. So this is the best approach that I have found when it comes to product, when you're looking for referrals from influential people. Now, if they don't answer the phone, send them the following text message. And it goes like this. I've been thinking about you lately. You're one of the most influential people I know. I trust your opinion. I would love to talk to you and ask you a question. That has been a super successful text for me. People like to get back to people that say, you're one of the most influential people that I know, and I have a question for you. So that I absolutely hands down recommend that text when you can't get a hold of people or they're not calling you back. Now, after you get a chance to talk to them and you talk about their ailments, you drop off the product and you go through the exact same thing that you went through when it comes to giving the product, right? Dropping off the product and sampling the product and following up. And once again, if you don't know how to do this properly, go listen to the Daily Mentor Calls on dailymentorcalls.com. Call 6, 7, 8, and 9. So go ahead and drop off the product and follow up with them and see how they liked it, just like we do with regular follow-ups. And ask them if they know others who would love to share this product or who would love some free product themselves. And if they do know people that would love to share or love free product, just simply say, do you mind calling or texting them and letting them know that I'm going to be contacting them? Let me tell you why this is so important and is so effective. Because if Lisa is influential, then when she reaches out to people, they listen to her, right? She influences a lot of other people. And when they get a call or a text from Lisa saying, hey, I've tried some of this product and it's wonderful. In fact, my allergies are so much better. I told somebody that they should give some to you because it's free. These samples are free and I think it could really change your life. You are way, way more likely to have success that way than just like cold contacting people, right? And once again, like Mark Zuckerberg said, nothing influences people more than a recommendation from a trusted friend. So that's how you deal with people that you think a product approach would be best with. Now let's talk about a business approach. It would sound like this. Hi, Lisa. I'm so grateful that you answered the call. I'm really excited to talk to you today. I've been thinking a lot about you lately, and you're one of the most influential people that I know. People really listen to you and trust your opinion. I have totally fallen in love with essential oils. It's changed my life and my family's as well. We have been so blessed financially because of sharing essential oils, and our business has done very well. And I'm looking for a specific type of person that seems to do incredibly well with sharing essential oils. I'm wanting to put my time, talents, and resources into them so that I can have similar success, or so that they can have similar success like me. So I wanted to call you and explain exactly who I'm looking for. Hopefully, someone that could be a perfect fit. And I figured that you would know someone that is this type of person. So I'm looking for a woman, age 30 to 55. They're really into natural things. They also have a money need. So they're motivated to earn money and they're very influential. Basically, people listen to them. Do you know someone who has these qualities? Woman, 30 to 55, interested in natural things, a money need, and influential. So let's stop there for just a minute. Notice that I didn't go through all 7 qualities. I didn't go through all 7 qualities because I figure that when someone is referring someone, that, you know, all 7 qualities is a lot to remember. And some of them aren't as important. Like, it's not necessary that they have, you know, a supportive spouse for a referral. And it's not necessary that they've done business before, right? If they do know people that fit this description, all you say is, hey, do you mind calling or texting them and letting them know that I'm going to be contacting them? In fact, I do this all the time. You could even offer what they could say or text to the person to get them excited to talk to you. Your influential person could say or text this to the person that they are referring to you. I have a friend that is wanting to put some time and resources into a specific type of person. And when they were describing this person to me, I immediately thought of you. I think it would be beneficial for you to talk to this person. It might lead to something fantastic. So basically what's happening here, right, is that you're talking to an influencer. You're asking them, hey, do you know somebody that has this exact, that has these characteristics? And if you do, could you reach out and could you talk to them? So let me tell you what has happened with me many, many times. And that is they're flattered that I feel that they're really influential. And they're absolutely willing to text someone. And it really depends on how you've gone about your life building relationships. If you've spent, a lifetime doing favors for people, serving people, helping people, and you have a lot of people that aren't necessarily, in your business, but they're just friends and acquaintances, well, then usually you'll have a lot of success with influencers, and they wouldn't mind at all to refer somebody to you, especially if they know that you have been really successful in doTERRA. Now, I reached out and I did referral calls, not as many as when I was presidential, but I did referral calls at the beginning too. So you don't have to be super influential to do this, right? But you do have to call somebody and basically say, you're one of the most influential people that I know. And this is who I'm looking for. And I thought that you would know someone like this. And, do you know somebody? Do you mind calling or texting them? And most of the time, almost always, it's really helpful if you just say, hey, I'm just going to text you maybe what you could send to this person. That text that I just read, I have a friend that is wanting to put some time and resources into a specific type of person. And they love that. It's so easy for them. It's really simple. Almost every time they're like, yeah, go ahead and send me that text. That would be easy. Okay, now let's see how this sounds in real life. And you're going to get an opportunity right now to hear of a referral call that I did to a friend named Jason. So Jason and I have known each other for a long time. We've done business together. He's awesome. We have a great relationship. He's not at all interested in the business, but he knows a lot of people and a lot of people that are really into health and wellness. So you'll notice that I sound really tired on the phone. That's because I live in the Czech Republic and I was trying to call him early in the morning. It was super early in the morning for me, so I could reach him, later in the evening. So give me a little bit of a break. And because I know Jason so well, and I've done the script so many times, I'm not as tight with the script as you need to be, but check it out. This is how it went.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you? What time is it there?
Where's there?
I'm in Prague. What time is it there?
Oh, I'm in Utah. Like almost 10.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's kind of late. Do you have a couple minutes to talk, or
isn't it kind of late for you?
It's early. It's like 5:46 in the morning.
Oh.
Yeah, I got up. I had a big training all week last week, and so I was a little tired, and I spent the entire day yesterday in my pajamas. It was awesome. I didn't even get out of my pajamas.
That sounds amazing.
It was amazing. It was amazing. Okay, so I have a question for you. Take a big deep breath. You ready? Woo.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go through stages in your life of when you really engage, when you push, and when, at least I do. You probably don't go through stages. You just are always engaged. But I go through stages where I'm like, oh, I need a breather. I need to just focus.
Your stages are just more manic than mine.
My stages are more manic than yours, for sure.
Okay.
Anyway.
So what's your push?
So I am ready to totally, completely bless someone's life and just pour into them. And I want you to think about, I'm going to tell you the type of person I'm looking for. And Jace, you're so influential, and I want you to think, if you know someone like this, that I can literally put my time, my talents, and my energy and my money into, because we're really excited. I'm wanting to build with a new business partner, right? Like right on our front line. So it's a woman. Women do awesome. 30 to 45, about. Into natural things. I mean, they don't have to be, but that's like kind of an added bonus. Influential. They've kind of done business before, so they kind of have a business mindset. Well, and not an employee mindset. You know how that is, an employer mindset.
An entrepreneurial mindset.
Yeah, they kind of want to go for it. They have a money need. It's actually one of the biggest things. They have a money need, and a supportive spouse. So, can you think of somebody that like I could completely change their lives?
Okay, so, all right, I'm going to have to go through my Facebook page, and I'm going to have to really, like, stew on this for a little while.
And if there's anybody that could teach someone how to do this business and pour into them, it would be me, right? You believe in me, right?
I have no doubts that you are the one. Okay, I'm gonna think about this for a minute, because I'm sure I could come up with a few names to some people that I know from New Hampshire.
Oh, New Hampshire would be so good, Jason, because it's like, that'd be so good. That'd be a perfect place to build. I mean, I'm sure there's a little bit going on there, but not a ton. So that's right, because that's where you're from, right?
But you want them to have a financial need.
Okay, so let me tell you the most important ones. First is that I would say woman is number one. Okay. Then I would say the age, 30 to 45, okay? And then a financial need is absolutely the next. It just, for me to like really pour into somebody and put resources into somebody, I would absolutely want them to do well in the business. And to do really well, they can't, I mean, it does take a lot of effort and grit to get to diamond and above. And so to do really, really well, obviously, they have to be a little bit hungry. They just do. I mean, hardly any diamonds get there that didn't have a financial need. I mean, there are the occasional ones, but it usually, that's one of the most important things. So, could I call you back in let's say like my Thursday morning, your Wednesday night? Do you think it would give you enough time to think about somebody? 2 days?
Yeah. Yep. I'll go through a list. I'll have a name for you.
That's awesome. You're the best.
And what we'll need to do is, you want me to make introductions?
For sure. That would be awesome. Would you feel comfortable with that?
Absolutely. It'd be like introducing the Queen of England, so sure.
You're so nice. You're so nice. That's why I hang out with you, Jason. You're so good to me. You're so good to me.
I love it. I'm so glad that you called me. Now I just need to figure out a name. Okay, I'll work on that.
Okay, I'll call you in 2 days. I'm hoping you have just like the perfect girl that I can just like pour into.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
I'll work on it. We'll talk in a few days.
Okay, sounds good. Talk to you later.
All right,
Bye.
see you. Bye.
Okay, so you should have noticed a few things about that call. Number one, I didn't stick to the script exactly. One of the reasons is because Jason knows a lot about essential oils. He knows a lot of what's happened with my life with essential oils. And we're really, really close. So it would have been actually uncomfortable if I would have stuck perfectly to the script. So you need to like think about that with who you call also. The other thing is I told him 30 to 45. Our ideal age is anywhere from 30 to 55. And I was just wanting to push that number down a little bit just because I'm getting older, right? So I was asking him 30 to 45. I found, though, actually in other places like Asia, oh my gosh, they could be 55, 60, 65, and they just have unlimited energy. So it doesn't always hold true that way. But I want I want you to know that it doesn't always go like this. The reason why this call was so effective is because I had built a really great relationship with Jason, and he trusted me, and I hope he still does. And also, he knows that I've been really successful with the business. So obviously, the more and more successful you become, the easier and easier it is to get people to refer their friends and family to you, right? So, we start with where we're at. And then as we become more and more influential, as we become more and more successful, then referrals become easier and easier. Okay, this next call is a really good friend of mine. Her name is Celeste. She lives literally in the house in back of me. And we're great family friends. She actually signed up just as a user of the oils a little while ago. Well, actually a couple of years ago now, but she uses the oils. She knows a lot about essential oils, and she knows everything about my family. She knows how the essential oils have created miracles in my family. She knows all my kids. She knows everything about it. So it would be quite awkward if I went into the regular script of, let me tell you what happened with my family. So you do have to use, you have to get so comfortable with the script that you know when to use it, when not to use it. So this is a call. I'm calling her for a referral. So check it out and see what you think. I have a quick question for you, okay? So I'm calling you about something specific. Okay, Celeste, you know that I'm completely in love with essential oils, right? And I'm just crazy about it. So, and they've changed our lives, and they've changed my kids' lives and all that. You've definitely been on this journey with us. So I am ready, Celeste, to I'm ready to put my time and energy and money into a new person. But I want it to be the right person, the right fit for me, the right fit for them. And I'm living here in Prague, and I want it to be somebody outside of my local area of either Prague or Utah. So I wanted to just tell you the type of person that does the very, very best. And I want to ask you if you can think of the perfect person for me to invest into. So they're a woman, 30 to 45. They're into natural things. They are really influential. They have a money need. That's actually super important, because whenever I put my time into somebody, I want them to hit it out of the park and be really successful. And they are, woman, 30 to 45, into natural things, have a money need. Oh, and they're entrepreneurial. So can you think of somebody outside of Utah that you think would just be the perfect fit for me? What do you think? That I really want to just invest in somebody and make them become super successful.
I know. Actually, when you're describing it, there's a person that comes to mind to me, she lived in DC for a long, long time, and she's lived in Santa Barbara area for a long time, but right now she's back in Utah.
Oh, is she? Did she just move back?
She's been back for a few years. There's a clothing line called Kuhl, Kuhl.
I've never even heard of that line. Is it cool?
Yeah, it's an athletic, outdoorsy line. Mm-hmm. She's running her own company now.
Wait, I think I've heard of this line. Is she kind of young, like a millennial?
She's 45. She's
okay, then I haven't heard of it. Okay.
Yeah, but she actually stopped. She's a personal trainer, and she does fitness retreats, and she does trips different places all over the world, and
wow.
She does yoga, paddleboarding, snow skiing, hiking, all this stuff. She was my college roommate, and
so Celeste and I talked a little bit about her friend, and she told me so many awesome things that I was starting to get really excited. And I thought to myself, this could be honestly, the perfect fit. And so we talked a little bit more about her, and I think I got a little bit more and more excited. And you can see what happens actually right now.
That just came out. Yeah. And I love her. She's a really good friend of mine. But
so,
yeah, she has a lot of contacts. The good thing about her,
like outside of Utah, probably.
Yeah, she has tons of California, tons of DC, and then, but she's also has contacts all over the world from all the trips she's guided, all these different places like South America.
Yeah,
Europe, Scotland. Yeah, she just went a lot of places.
Yeah.
So she does have a lot of contacts, but it's just.
So would you feel comfortable, like, reaching out to her and maybe seeing if we could get on a phone call with her? How do you feel about that?
No, I wouldn't. We're really close. We've we were roommates at Dixie, and we've just stayed close ever since. And she's someone I am very comfortable to talk with.
Cool.
So it wouldn't be hard for me to reach out to her and just tell her what you're talking about.
And just explain to her, like, tell her about me, and maybe even just say it might be worth your time to spend, like 20 minutes on the phone with her, because I mean, it really could be something, and it might not be a good fit, but it might be life-changing for her,
Well, she's very natural. Very, very,
good.
Very. And she has a lot of contacts, and I honestly think with what she does, it would fit in so easily.
Because of some of the products we use, like Deep Blue, and just, I mean, there's, like people that are into natural stuff and into taking care of their body do well into doTERRA. Go ahead, sorry.
She's done some oils before.
Oh, okay.
On a smaller level. I think she actually likes oils. It's just not at the level, I mean, I'm sure she has a lot to learn.
Yeah. I wonder if she's already signed up because she's in Utah. We'd have to find out, huh? I wonder if she's already signed up.
We've talked, but I don't know if she's ever mentioned that she's signed up,
Yeah.
Because I think she knows, I think she knows I did a long time ago.
Yeah, yeah. So do you think that you could reach out to her maybe tomorrow, and I could get back with you tomorrow and just see if I could. I'm trying to make a decision by the beginning of next week or so. I'm reaching out to a couple of people and finding out like who that I really want to put my time into in the next little while. Yeah. Do you think you'd have time just to reach out to her tomorrow, and I'll call you back and see if if she's interested?
I'm wondering where she is right now.
Oh, she might be across the world again, huh?
Yeah, I'm trying to think if it's like I was just looking on her post to see if she was out of town right now, because she'd posted something.
Yeah, I mean, it actually sounds like she'd be perfect. She has a money need. She's into natural stuff. She's really influential. She sounds like she'd be the perfect fit. Okay, now one of the things that's really, I guess I should say my style or important to me is when people are referring someone to me, I want them to know that I know exactly what I'm doing with the business, because I do. And that it's a really smart move for them to refer somebody to me, because it is. And so there's a sense of confidence that you have to bring into the call. And notice that I'm really chill. I'm really relaxed, especially because these are my really good friends, right? But it's not like I'm anxious or trying to talk too fast or trying to pitch something. It doesn't sound like a sales pitch. But when we get to the point where I'm talking about the benefits of them referring somebody to me and what that would mean for the person that they're referring, I'm really powerful. And I say, things like, hey, I'm the best at this. There's nobody else that could show them how to do this better. And I'm going to make sure that they're successful, to give them that confidence. All right. So the next person I want you to hear from is a guy by the name of Matthew. And I called him because he's very influential and I wanted to get some referrals. And so for a long time, we hadn't connected for years. So we spent a lot of time talking about our lives and getting caught up. And so I'm going to let you listen into right when we start getting into it right here.
In fact, that's the reason why I'm calling you today. I was going to call you. Okay, so honestly, I feel a little selfish because I should have called 6 months ago just to see how you were. But now I'm calling for a reason, so I feel bad. Like I feel like I should repent.
Why? What can I do? What can I help you with?
No, it actually, I think I have some resources to put into a few, like 4 or 5 fabulous people, and I thought to myself, Matthew knows who they are. He knows who they are, and I just want to pour. I'm at the point where I want to pour my time and my talents and my money into some people, and I've built all over the world selling essential oils, and I know exactly who does this best. Like, they're women, they're 30 to 45, they're into natural things, they're influential, and with my knowledge, I'm actually the number one seller of essential oils. Not seller, but I'm the number one ranked distributor in the whole world, and so I have a lot of.
Oh, that sounds so
I know what
arrogant,
I'm doing all over the world. And in fact, when you just talked about Peru, did you say Peru and Colombia?
Yes.
Dude, Matthew, I would love to open up those countries with you. Like, that's what I've done. I've opened up countries and they've become just massive. But I was wondering, yeah. Oh, it's been great. And you're the type of person that you know so many people. You're one of the reason why you're on my mind is because you're one of the most influential people that I know. And so I wanted you to kind of go through. No, I'm serious. And I wanted you to kind of go through, maybe we could, take the next couple of days and go through a list of people of who I could change their lives. I mean, many of the people that I work with now are multimillionaires, and I know exactly how to do it. There's nobody in the world that's better at showing them how to do this than me. And so with your knowledge and your
What can I do? What can I do for you?
So I'm just looking for that type of person. Girl, 30 to 45. And I know that you are on a higher level. I totally get that you're on a higher level than this, and you've been playing at a high level for a long time.
What do you mean? Whoa. You gotta wait, stop. I appreciate the accolades that you put up on me, but the thing is that I'm still a human being. I still have passion. What you're saying, what you're describing right now, hopefully I can help you. I can assist with you with people, personnel of what you're asking for. I do. In fact, it's funny. I'll tell you one thing. I met a younger woman through this process, and young, in her 20s, from Colombia. The story, the trials and tribulations to get her in this country was just very overwhelming. It was very amazing to hear this. In fact, to actually know somebody that had to go through all that crap, and it just, I guess in a sense, it really moved me. And so, as much as the people that are involved with this restaurant and this restaurant venture. So for that being said, yes, I do have characters and such that come from Brazil, Colombia, Peru, Argentina, that fit that criteria, that are in their late 20s, early 30s, up to their 40s. So, yes.
Well, and maybe we could even structure. Well, maybe we could structure it in a way, Matthew, that you could introduce me to these people and I could invest into them, but we could structure it in a way where they would be actually under a position for you, so you would make money off of it. And I know the money that you make other places is bigger, but you know what? It might be a great substitute.
It's an opportunity.
A good opportunity
for somebody that needs it.
So, I mean, if you wouldn't mind, I would love you to kind of write down. That'd be awesome. I'll send you a text of what I'm looking for, and
Please.
let's say by Saturday, do you think that you could come up with 10 people that would fit that list, and then you could maybe make the acquaintance and say, I'm going to talk to them, and then I could kind of feel them out and see who would be best, and then you could make the decision if you want to be involved or if you don't want to be involved. If you just want to like give them the opportunity, or if you want it to be under you, and it might be great for you. Who knows?
Okay. All right.
Okay, so I'll
Send me the
text
list,
you.
and we'll take it
Yeah,
from
I'll
there.
text you the list, and then yeah, I'll call you probably maybe Friday night to see if you
Sounds good.
could come up with some stuff, and then honestly.
Okay, so by the end of the call, because we talked a little bit more, but by the end of the call, he was actually quite interested himself. And you know what? Sometimes that happens with your influencers. Not always do they just, refer somebody to you, but sometimes they'll say, hey, this is something that I am interested in. And so that was a really fun call. And in fact, when I called him back, he actually, we talked about having 10 people that he was referring to, which is very uncommon. That doesn't happen very often, but he knows a lot of people. All right, this next call that I want you to listen to didn't go quite so smoothly. And you have to realize that whenever you're talking to people, even by using the right scripts, even having great, relationships, some people just aren't interested. And that's okay. So this is a really short call, but after I had talked to him and explained everything, he told me of a girl that he thought fit this status, and then I asked him if he'd reach out to her, and he really hesitated. And so far, he hasn't gotten back to me. So listen to this.
Could you mind reaching out to her and just maybe connecting us? I would love to talk to her.
I would have to check with her and see if she was okay with it.
Okay. That's fine.
I mean, I'd have to just ask her.
All right, now it's time to get on to our next step. I know this is a longer call, but I thought it would be really helpful for you to hear real life scenarios, right? So step number 4 is if they need time to think of people to refer to you, we'll set up a follow-up call. That's what I did with Jason, and that's what I did with Matthew. Celeste already had someone that she was pretty sure about and that she didn't really have to think about who she wanted to refer to me. So step number 4 is to set up a follow-up call. And in just a little bit, you're going to hear a bunch of those follow-up calls and how they went. Step number 5, ask your influencer to connect you with the referral by a text, a phone call, or in person. You can actually send them a text that they can use to reach out to the people that they want to refer to you. So I really like this text. I think it works really well. And this is the exact text that I sent to Jason and to Matthew. And it simply says, so they would get this text and they would send it to these people that they feel like would be a great fit for me. And it says, I have a friend that is wanting to put some time and resources into a specific type of person. And when they were describing this person to me, I immediately thought of you. I think it would be beneficial for you to take this person or to talk to this person. It might lead to something fantastic. So that is actually step number 5. And that works really well. I think they feel a lot more secure when you're actually sending them a text, and then they can just forward it to people, right? And then step number 6 is simply you want to figure out an incentive to give them for referring someone to you. It could be product, it could be a referral fee, it could be anything under the sun. So obviously at the beginning of the business, I couldn't afford to do what I can afford to do now, right? But I'll tell you, when we were presidential and we went double presidential, every single person that referred somebody to me got an incentive. Sometimes it was a cash incentive. For every person that you refer, I'll give you this cash incentive. And I did say they have to sign up. They can't just like give me a name, right? But they actually have to sign up. Sometimes it's a product incentive. So for that call that didn't go quite so well, I told them that I would send, his wife some Yarrow Palm. And I still, even if she's not interested, I'm still going to send his wife some Europom for Christmas. I think you always want to make it a win-win if they're willing to help out in any way. And so I know that many of us have a lot of product around. That's something very easy that you can give as an incentive. And you just have to take it, case by case and person by person. But I'll tell you this, when I don't give an incentive, they are far less likely and far less willing to refer somebody to me. I mean, my really good friends, they'll still be willing, but when I tell them about an incentive and I call them back in 2 days, usually they're on it. But if I call them back in 2 days and they don't have any incentive, they're kind of like, oh, well, yeah, I forgot about that. So now you're going to get a chance to hear what the follow-up call sounds like when I'm calling people back to see if they have thought of some names on their list. Okay, now once again, this is Jason, and I want to just prep this is the ideal. If there was an ideal for a follow-up call, this would be it. This is not how it's going to go every time. So, this is like the perfect scenario. So go ahead and check it out.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks.
Good.
Like most days.
Yeah, you do well most days. And once again, I've been in my pajamas all day. Haven't even gotten dressed. The second day in a row. So.
And it's like barely midnight.
It's barely It's time to put my pajamas back on, so I'm fine.
But you're in the right time zone now.
That's right. Hey, I'm just calling you back to find out if you had an opportunity to think of some people that would do great and that you think that it would be good for me to invest in. Have you had the opportunity to talk? Have you thought about it?
I have certainly thought about it. Right from the word go, I've started scouring all of my contacts and thinking of some really choice people that I think would be good fit to work with you and give you a fair shake at trying to help build the business. So yeah, I've got a few ideas. Definitely some people that I'd run by you.
Okay.
And we can make introductions.
Perfect. Number one, who is it?
So we spent some time and we talked about, each individual person. And I was surprised. I thought he was only going to come to the table with, I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 people, but he ended up thinking of 6 people. It was fantastic. So we're going to jump right back into the conversation right here.
Okay. Well, I would like to reach out to all of them. I would love to reach out to all of them, and I would love to, if they decide to jump on board and get going, I'd love to bonus you for all of them, What do you think the best way? I mean, I think I would like you to either give them a call and say, I could even send you a text like this is how you'd, present it. If you feel more comfortable calling or texting, I mean, calling always works better, but if you have time to give them a call and maybe, tomorrow and the next day I would love to talk to these people and see if they're the right fit for me and if I'm the right fit for them and if we can do some amazing things together.
Okay. Well, I could definitely reach out to 2 or 3 of them because I'll have their phone numbers or their Facebook. I mean, they'll message me on either of those pretty quickly.
Yeah.
A couple of them I'll need to probably chase down.
Because it's been a while, yeah.
It has been a little while. So
Got it.
I'm open to whatever. I'm happy to call them. If you want me to call them, I think what would be great, and just knowing you, I think if I were to call them and just tell them I'd like to set up a visit with you and then conference you in on a call or pass them off to you for conversation, I think you would be able to light a fire under them probably better than I ever could. So
if you just do the introduction.
You don't have to agree so readily.
I would do a much better job than you. Are you kidding? I'm so glad that was your idea. No, I think that if you just make the introduction, then absolutely, either we could do a 3-way call together, but even that, like, I don't have to take that much of your time, because sometimes those calls go for half an hour or so. But I would love to get on a phone call with them, and they'll know within, half an hour of talking to me, and I'll know if we want to keep talking. It'll be really, and for all of them, honestly, Jason, I'll send them all some products, some doTERRA products. So they'll love talking to me. They'll get something, in the mail, and they'll love talking to me. So it won't be a negative. It'll be a win-win no matter what. And you could even tell them that. You could just say, you can get on the phone with her, and I think she'll change your life. I'll send you a little text of what I think you should say just to make the introduction, and then just say, you know what, even if it's not the right fit for you, I'm sure she'll send you something in the mail that you'll love for Christmas. That would be great. Do you think that you will have time to connect with some of these people in the next day or so?
For sure. I mean, some of them easy. I could call today or tomorrow morning.
Okay. So just when we get off the phone.
A few others I'll have to chase down.
Okay. When we get off the phone, I'll just kind of send you a text and say, hey, this is maybe what you could tell them. And then I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you. Like, honestly, Jason, thank you. This is really kind of you, especially that you came up with 6.
Yeah. Hey, that's what I do.
That's what you do, man. That is what you do. Okay, well, I will. Yeah. So just let me know if you when you get a hold of these people, if they're interested and wanting to talk. I'll send you a text right after I get off the phone, and I so appreciate you. Thank you so much for everything.
Yeah, my pleasure. Sounds good.
Okay. Talk to you later.
I guess we'll follow up tomorrow.
Okay. See ya. Bye.
All right.
Okay, so that conversation went really well, and I was really pleased with how many people he wanted to refer to me. The next call I'm going to have you listen to is the follow-up call with Celeste. Now, this was different because I didn't even have to call her back. She was so excited that she actually called me back at 2 a.m. in the morning. She forgot the time difference between Utah and Prague. It was totally fine. She was so excited because she had talked to her friend, and this is what she had to say.
She has been using the products, and she believes in them. And people have tried to get her to sign up for a million years because they go with her business. And she's like, nope, I'm just not ready. She's been to over 30 countries.
Oh, that's right.
Where she's led tours and hikes, and she knows people in so many countries, is what I'm saying.
That's so awesome.
She's wrote a book. She is a physical trainer. She's lived in Washington, D.C. for a long time and has a ton of rich friends there. She's lived in Santa Barbara. She's all this stuff. So I called her, and she goes, I can't even believe you're calling me right now. Because she's known I've signed up for doTERRA a long time ago. Mm-hmm. But she's never... She said she called Dr. Winterton 3 days ago and asked if she could sign up underneath it. And he said, no, I'm on the board, so you can't sign up underneath me.
Oh, my God.
Or something like that. Because she's been using the products, and she got a concussion in her job, in her training a while ago, and it really affected her. She goes through physical therapy and all this, and the products have been helping her.
That's awesome.
Anyway, but she is like, I really want to talk to her. And the thing is, Melanie knows what she wants. She's really smart. She knows what she wants, and she's very sure of things, but before it was never the time, and she would have flat out told me no.
That's awesome, Celeste.
I know. So she's actually at an event, she's at this event of these books she's read about this artist. She's at this big thing tonight. She's a smart girl.
That's so cool.
And but she said she's open for she would love to talk to you anytime tomorrow.
Okay.
All right, so that was so good. Anyway, Kay, can I tell you something fun about that specific builder? Just this morning, as I'm like recording Find a Builder, she jumped on board. She is my newest builder, and I'm sure she's going to do amazing. She's awesome. So, by the way, referrals work. They work. It's so fun. Okay. The last step number 7, you actually just call the people that they are referring. So if you're going to do a product approach, so you definitely want to talk to, your influencer and find out a little bit about them. If you feel like they would be more interested in product, or if they'd be more interested, in the business. I mean, you ask them based on the business, but you can go one or another way. Let me tell you what a product approach would sound like. Hi, Jen. I was talking to Lisa the other day, and she told me that you might be interested in trying some free essential oils. I've had some pretty amazing experiences. In fact, my husband struggles with allergies, and he's from Canada, so moving here to Utah has just created a bunch of really bad allergies for him a few times a year. And now, instead of using medication, he just simply uses essential oils, and it's completely taken the problem away. And I have what's called restless leg syndrome, where my legs just jump. And for decades, I couldn't sleep at night. Like, I would wake up really unrested, and my legs haven't jumped for years. Everything from, acne to flus and coughs and all sorts of things. Really, essential oils have been just amazing for me and my family. And I know that all families deal with different kinds of ailments. I would love to give you a free sample of essential oils for you to try. They're safer, cheaper, and many times more effective than medication. And I think you'll have a great experience like I have. Are you going to be home tomorrow for me to drop it off to you? So that's a product approach that you can use, right? And then the business approach can sound something like this. Hey, Jen, I was talking to Lisa the other day and explained to her this amazing type of person I was looking for that I wanted to put time and resources into. And she said, you are just what I was describing. Lisa really thinks highly of you. So tell me how long that you two have known each other. How did you guys meet? Okay, so when you've talked for a little bit and when it's comfortable, you jump in and you can say, I do the most amazing thing. I sell essential oils. They're safer, cheaper, and more effective than other things that we have a tendency to use for our healthcare. Essential oils have no side effects or addictions. I have fallen in love with essential oils, and I've had some pretty amazing experiences with them. They've really changed my family's health. My husband no longer has allergies. He's from Canada, and he struggled with allergies for a long time. And now, without any medication, he is allergy-free. And I have what's called restless leg syndrome. And for decades, my legs just jump throughout the day and night. And it keeps me from sleeping well and not being rested in the morning. But my legs haven't jumped for years, ever since I started using essential oils and doTERRA products. So sharing essential oils with others has also changed my life and my family's life financially. So many people are interested in using natural alternatives, and I'm looking for someone that I can put my time, my talents, and resources into that could also share the power of essential oils with others. And your friend thought about you. Are you familiar with essential oils? So then from there, what you would do is you would just talk about essential oils and talk about the business. But remember, don't talk too much. You're going to go back into the same script that you used before when you were approaching somebody for a business, right? And make sure you just set up a follow-up call. Just talk a little bit. Explain that you could give them, some samples of essential oils, even if they're interested in business, but that it's important that they know that the essential oils work, and just set up a follow-up call, right? Remember that the more contacts that you have, the more likely they are to actually do the business with you. So that is the end of this very long call for referrals, and I hope you really enjoyed it, because it has been honestly a game changer for my business. If you haven't used referral technique at all, wow, you have a
totally open, brand new territory to tap into, and follow the steps exactly, and you'll find similar success. I'll talk to you on the next call.